Okay, welcome to BigBandTheory.net, and here's some rock trivia questions. I'm going to start asking questions about logos, album covers, artists of albums. So we're going to have quite a few questions in the next month of just how some of the artwork was done. Of course, with albums, you used to get a 12-inch by 12-inch real vinyl, and the artwork was amazing. So the first question has to do with band logos. And you've probably seen some on t-shirts now, but the classic rock bands, there was 10 logos that I went through, and they just stood out as the very best 10 logos of all time. So try to name 3 or 4 logos in your mind that stand out, and I'm going to give you what I think are the best 10. You got it? Pause. Okay, so my top 2 right off the bat is Asia and Yes, and the designer was Roger Dean. We're going to be getting to questions about him later, an artist. Monkeys, that cool guitar that has the word monkeys in it. Grateful Dead, that head with that lightning bolt through it. The Who, which is written really cool font, and then the British flag. The Rolling Stones with the sort of tongue and lips, everybody knows that. Aerosmith, that flying name of theirs. Van Halen, also sort of wings and a VH, super cool. Kiss, great logo. And AC/DC, again with the lightning bolt between the AC and the DC. Okay, those are the answers. Okay, next are album covers. So we're going to have quite a few different questions on album covers, but there were 2 bands, classic rock bands, that used a spaceship as the main picture on their album covers, a flying saucer, if you will. So who were these 2 bands that used flying saucers? And then one of these 2 bands actually used flying saucers 3 times in a row for their first album, second album, and third album. What are these 2 artists? Pause. Okay, first one is ELO. They've got a great album with this really cool spaceship on the front. And then the second is, of course, Boston. And their first album, second album, and third album all had really cool spaceships on those. So that's the answer there. Okay, next is on BigBandTheory.net is 2 bands that for some reason used as their main theme pentagrams. And so one band used a pentagram, practically that's all they did in the name. And then the other band, which I can't figure out why they use pentagrams at all, have 2 albums with pentagrams is one of their main things. So who are these 2 bands? Pause. Well, the first one is Motley Crue, and it's just their name and a pentagram. The second one is Rush, which is surprising because none of their lyrics, all of their songs, their personalities was not on the dark side at all. But yet on 2 of their albums, one including 2112, there's a pentagram. So I can't quite figure that one out. But nevertheless, that's the answer to those 2 questions. Okay, question. The best logo artist of all time, he's still alive. I met him about 6 months ago, great guy, and he is amazing. So this is my pick of who the greatest album designer and logo artist is of all time for music, for classic rock. Pause. Okay, hands down, Roger Dean. He came up with that Bubble Yes logo. He came up with that cool Asia logo. I think he did 9 albums, the whole artwork for Yes. He did a couple of them where Asia, where that big sea serpent is coming out. If you ever get a chance, just go to Roger Dean's website and it'd blow your mind. And he was credited with a lot of inspiration that Disney took. And also, he was also credited with inspiring the movie's Avatar with his imagination. So, amazing stuff. Way to go, Roger Dean. Oh, he also did the logo for Tetris, for you, those of you guys that know Tetris. But also, two stories about him. One was when he went early on to college and enrolled in art class, the teacher, art school, that was his major, fine arts, the teachers pretty much, or professors, pretty much threw him out because he wasn't following the rules. I mean, isn't that sort of the point of art? I guess they were short-sighted because he went on and did way more than any of their other students and them. Also, another fun story is when John Wetton, and this is one I heard when I met him about 6 months ago, when John Wetton was starting the band Asia, he had the name, he went to Roger and said, design us a logo, design us a logo. So if you know the logo, it's sort of this pyramid looking thing with two eyes underneath it, all slants to a point. And at first John Wetton wasn't too happy with it. He goes, I can barely read Asia. And Roger says, that's sort of the point. They went with it, and it is one of the top 10 logos of all time.